Misinformation around COVID-19 vaccine is one of the reasons why India's inoculation drive was slower than expected. And it continues to reduce vaccine acceptance even among the educated population. For example, a video posted on Facebook by an anti-vaccination group in India was shared by several other Facebook pages, and it gained 12,000 views only on Facebook. A study conducted in the United Kingdom and the United States of America and published in the Nature Human Behavior found that exposure to online misinformation around COVID-19 vaccine can actually reduce vaccine uptake, thus delaying herd immunity. The study was carried out in a randomized controlled trial with 8,001 people. Out of the 8,001 people, 6,001, that is 3,000 in the UK and 3,001 in the US, were exposed to misinformation. The researchers recorded their willingness to take a vaccine before and after the exposure. It was found that the willingness to take a vaccine dropped by an aggregate 6.2 percentage points in the UK and 6.4 percentage points in the US.
India has historically had higher rates of vaccine confidence than most other countries in the West. However, as more and more people use and rely on social media to get their information, any organized efforts to create or spread misinformation online may have detrimental effects on public health campaigns for widespread acceptance of a COVID-19 vaccine. Now, we were restricted in the type and volume of misinformation we could show to the respondents, and the study is only concerning 2 countries, so it's hard to generalize to a country like India. Many times misinformation builds on cultural context, and therefore different cultures may respond differently. However, a recent cross-cultural study showed that belief in misinformation about the virus was consistently associated with lower willingness to accept a vaccine. In recent weeks, some social media platforms have introduced more responsible policies to combat online spread of misinformation regarding COVID-19 vaccines. It is important to understand that just removing such content is not sufficient or even optimal, given that misinformation can often shift to alternate channels of communication where they can become harder to combat. What is key is to provide the users of these platforms with context as to why a certain piece of flagged content is regarded as misinformation.
Some other research has found that nudging people to think twice before sharing some misinforming content can actually reduce their chances of doing so.
One common thing between both countries that our study found was that misinformation identified as having the most impact was made to have a scientific appeal, like drawing a direct connection between COVID-19 vaccines and adverse effects by using scientific imagery and links. One thing that has become very clear during the course of this pandemic is that clear communication by governmental leaders and public health experts can be crucial for people to accept and trust guidance given to them in a timely manner. This can be hard to do when the science is progressing really fast and expert consensus takes a while to catch up. Therefore, it's very important to maintain transparency of the data, expertise, and science which is directing public health policy. One interesting observation from our study was that when people are asked about their intent to vaccinate, if it meant protecting others who might be at risk or family and friends, then they were more willing to do so, which suggests that altruistic messaging campaigns might be more successful.
India has successfully administered over 2.5 crore doses of vaccine in the first and second phase of vaccination. The pace of vaccination was much slower than expected in the first phase, where health and frontline workers were inoculated. However, the pace increased when the vaccination was opened up for the elderly and those between the ages of 45 to 59 with certain comorbidities. The vaccination of public figures also helped in boosting the number of vaccinations. The center is taking the threat of rumors and misinformation around COVID-19 vaccines seriously and has asked the states to check the spread of misinformation. It has also asked the states to take penal action against those disseminating misinformation or ill-informed news about the COVID-19 vaccine. If you find any such piece of misinformation around the COVID-19 vaccine, please send it to us on WhatsApp at 964-365-1818. You can also write it to us on webcoof@thequint.com. Until then, please subscribe to The Quint on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And always remember, don't be a webcoof.